Hey guys, it's Trace, and it's been a minute. I'm wondering how all of you are doing, and I think about all of you and pray for you often. I pray for your hearts and your emotions and your mind, and I pray that all of us are going to reach our goals and get to the places that we want in this life. It gets harder and harder, it seems sometimes, doesn't it? Especially with all that's going on in this crazy world we're living in. Please don't mind my appearance. Try to start some gardening at the very least today. And The pollen is pretty heavy, so I'm feeling the effects of that today. But let me dive right into the topic to not annoy people. I I want to talk about something that's not particularly too pleasant, but it's something that I think a lot of people need to assess in their lives in making sure that this isn't happening so that you can prevent it from, getting worse or prevent it from happening to you. And it's something that I noticed, I believe was happening with me and many people that are uh, identifying that they have been through narcissistic abuse. Okay, so it's very common. But the thing about it is, as you're basically trying to heal from what has happened, you want to make sure that you are also paying attention to this particular thing I'm talking about today so that you can work on it and make sure that you're doing all avenues and making all the progress you need so that you don't fall into these traps. So I have a question for all of you. Do you think, for some of you that are listening to this video, you are out and you've been out for a while, and others of you are smack dab in the middle of this narcissistic relationship, whether it be with a family member, a partner, employer, whoever it happens to be. And some of you are in the very beginning stages where you're trying to figure it out and you started watching these types of videos and you're starting to identify that there might be a narcissist in your life or perhaps several. But do any of you that have gotten out in particular, when you look back, can or would you say that there was a great part of you that feels like you were addicted to the narcissist? And when I say addicted, I mean that you were possibly even just so much as thinking about the narcissist or unhealthy individual. I I'm still trying to find the right words to use because narcissism is just being thrown around these days like it's not even a word anymore or has a meaning. Um, but particularly somebody who I like to say on my channel uh, has been living in darkness, who is controlled by darkness and dwells there. Did you have an obsession yourself of thinking about them, trying to figure them out? Um, Perhaps it became to the point that you had an obsession or an addiction to your own pain. Now, some of you listening to this are going to say, well, I don't want to think that way. I I've gone through so much, and that's a hell of a way to have to think about things. I know. And that's why I want you to look within to see if that is occurring, because that's what darkness wants. It wants you to be completely intertwined with the narcissist and what they're doing and why they're doing it and how they're doing it and what they meant when they did this and what they meant when they did that. And then you become self-absorbed and self-obsessed on your own to the point where you're just so concentrated on yourself and your own pain. So, as you can see how quickly something like this can happen, how do we stop it? How do we make sure that this doesn't go on? Because I see it, you guys, I see it day in and day out in what I'm doing here in coaching people. And I will go as far as to say that some people, they've been in this place for years, okay? Years. Now, I'm not saying that this is an easy thing to get yourself out of. God knows I've been there, okay? And then we haven't even gotten on the next point I'm making, which is that you can turn to other substances yourself because you don't want to deal with this pain. But you're in a self it's you're putting yourself there. And we got to stop it. We got to stop it before you're now turning to alcohol addiction like I did and other things that people will find themselves. Well, they'll do anything to not think for a few hours. So we got to talk about it. You see, people that dwell in darkness, they want everyone and everyone that comes through in their path to be on that plane of existence with them. They would like for you to be living in darkness the way they do. That's its whole design. That's what it's trying to get you to do. So this is a fight. This is spiritual warfare. This is a battle that you've got to attack head on and say, "Oh, hell no, Satan. Not today, not any day. I am not going to fall for this, and I am not going to dwell there. I'm going to get the help. I'm going to figure out what I need to do so that I do not think about this narcissist and this person and what this person has done and what they, you know, and I will not be still trying to make excuses for the narcissist years later, put them on a pedestal, uh, you know, and make off that, okay, there was still some really great things about them. Mm-mm. It's time to face the facts. It's time to face reality. When people show you who they are, you must believe them. And you mustn't take what they've really done and twist it to the places you'd like to say about someone or what you'd like to believe. I don't care if somebody donates half of their savings to a charity. If they go around abusing the person that they are supposed to, consider their partner, it's all canceled. I don't care. You don't get to do that. You see what I'm saying? So stop putting these people on a pedestal. Stop giving them your time and attention and concern and focus that time, tension, and concern back on yourself because that's what this really is indicating. I know from my own experience that there were many things about myself that I was not paying attention to when I was, going on for years with narcissistic people. And that's what it wants. It just wants you to think that, uh, if you have all your focus over there and on them and what they're doing and not doing, you're not going to be paying attention to all the things you could be doing to better improve your life and be finally at a place in your life that you're happy with yourself. Okay, so I know it's not comfortable to think like this, and I certainly am not trying to victim blame anybody. Trust me on that, okay? But what I am saying is just be very, very careful and cautious that you're not addicted to being in your own pain, talking about the narcissist and not discovering what it is that you need to do to making sure that you really do bury things and heal. I have worked with people, you guys, and figured out a lot of the times what people need when I'm coaching them. And you can't imagine how many people, when the going gets tough and we really start doing some of the real internal trauma work, and we start, I start having them do different homework assignments or talking to me about this or that, they a lot of times it gets too hard and they want to just be done with it. They don't want to go deep. It doesn't happen all the time, but for some people it does. And it's so easy to just go continue to try and find the right person to work with, or think to yourself, oh, no, this isn't helping. But give someone who's if someone has told you, especially coaches can do this, if they have told you that they have personally been there, you know, hear them out, hear what they have done to help themselves, uh, especially if you yourself have maybe been watching their channel for a long time, and seeing that they've made improvements in their life and they have made big changes. Those are the people that you're going to learn from. Um, Not people that sit in their office day in and day out and have actually never personally been through addiction and gotten out, or just have studied it, and you don't know anything about their life and their story. I don't think that's particularly helpful. And you guys know I say this all the time, especially when it comes to narcissistic abuse. You really, in my opinion, can only get help from somebody that's truly lived that and been there and saw their way through. But yeah, you know, don't fall into the demonic narcissistic trap of of not allowing you to live your life. There's a way to heal and process narcissistic abuse and get the help you need and deserve. You can make sure you're looking forward to that appointment during the week. You see your coach, that's been through it, and you talk your way through this. Um, you know, I'll get into a whole other video about people using chat GBT. That's a whole demonic system, that I'm going to expose and talk about. Uh, there's good and bad to it, but people are replacing human interaction and human experience with a robot, and that's particularly not good. Um, and it's going to eventually replace people, um, and we're going to see the effects of that. But for all purposes of today, if you are finding that you are just having trouble, feeling stuck, you do realize that this person is taking up too much of your time, that you're thinking about them. Perhaps you're talking a lot to maybe other people in your life that can't help you, and they're not saying the right things. They don't have empathy because, again, they never lived it. And a lot of people in our lives have never lived through narcissistic abuse. They don't know, or they're not educated about it to identify that that person, particularly in their life, was a narcissist. You can get stuck there. Yes, and you can be addicted to the narcissist and addicted to your own pain. And again, it's not the most pleasant topic to talk about, but we do need to talk about it, and we do need to make sure that that doesn't happen. So that's my message today. I'm Trace Face, and it's time that we face the truth together. You can always reach out to me, if you are looking for one-to-one coaching, or you're looking, um, to heal from what you've been through. I'm putting together groups this summer. I'm going to have a lot of different options coming up in the tank here, and I'll let you guys know. Bye.